Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good morning student. How are you today? I hope all of you in a good condition. Okay, are you ready for study? Welcome to my English class. Before we start our lesson today, I want to show you a video and please watch and listen that video carefully.
Menurut Badan Geologi Amerika Serikat, gempa dengan magnitudo di atas 7 seperti yang terjadi di Sulawesi Tengah hanya terjadi 15 kali setiap tahunnya di dunia. Chet Myers melaporkan.
Breaking news from Indonesia, a series of earthquakes have hit near the city of Palu, including a 7.5 magnitude tremor. That's a big one. The U.S. Geological Survey says that has caused, quote, severe shaking with damage that is likely to be moderate to heavy. And for more, let's go straight to Chad Myers. He joins us from the World Weather Center. And Chad, this was a very strong quake. What more can you tell us about the force of this tremor and the likely damage it caused?
7.5 is a very large quake. I mean, we're not up to what Indonesia saw in 2004, but really, there are only about 15 quakes like this equal to this per year across the entire globe. And Palu City really was in the area here. Palu City is kind of on an area where it's kind of a shaky ground anyway. It's on an alluvial fan where some of the dirt and some of the stones from up above have gone down and people have built homes on that. That kind of turns into a bowl of jello at times. So yes, about 73,000 felt very, very strong shaking by about 600,000 and severe shaking by about 20,000 people from this earthquake. We do know that there was a tsunami warning put out, reduced to an alert, but we have seen some social media pictures of what looks like a valid tsunami that came in either toward Donggala or somewhere near Palu City itself. Estimated fatalities somewhere between 1 and 100. I know that's a very large number. That's not even including what may have happened with the tsunami there, but somewhere around 10 would have been what the USGS, the United States Geological Survey, would think about this type of quake in this type of area. Also with the tsunami, as we see a little sea floor rupture, that's when we get the water coming into the buildings. Somewhere around a meter would be a normal tsunami for this type of earthquake because it was under a piece of land. It wasn't under really the ocean. Now, it shakes a lot. So even if it's under land, it was near the coast, there was some shaking under the ocean as well. We will get significant numbers, many, many aftershocks. We've already had at least 10. We will get some in the 6.5 range on these buildings that are already damaged. People in the streets, facades falling off some of these buildings. It is really a tough time for the people there. This really just happened, but now we are going to see the significant aftershocks, the magnitude frequency, somewhere only about 15 per year here, this big, and we are near town rather than being in the middle of nowhere this time, Christy.
So, how was that video? What the meaning of the video? Yes, it's about news item. So, what is the news about? Where did it happen? Or how serious was the incident? Why do you think so? Yes, the previous question related to our material today, that is news item. Does anyone know what the news item is? Yep, news item is a text that tells an information of event or newsworthy event of the day. So, news items are news that deserve to be reported to the public. According to Crate Webcast, news item is a text which inform reader about event of the day. The event are considered newsworthy or important. It means if there is an important event that should be known by many people. Okay, every news that is reported must have a purpose, right? Do you know what the purpose or function of the news is? Yeah, the purpose of news item is to provide information to reader about an important event of value. And then to provide up-to-date information about event are important to report and to provide information to reader or listener. Okay, a news is not only made carelessly but has a generic structure that makes the news structured and make it easier for reader to understand it. So, what are the generic structure in the news? Let's talk about that. First, main event or newsworthy event. Taking from the word main, which is main, then event, which means incident, then The main event is a paragraph that contains a summary of an event, aka an important event that is a highlight to be conveyed to the reader. In this case, one that author should consider is actually are the event to be discussed up to date or latest. The reason is the latest information will certainly have a greater value than old news. Another element that can be considered when writing a main event is the importance or not of an event and how much influence it has on reader. Okay, the second one is elaboration or background event. This event background contains the background of the event that occurred, starting from what and who was involved, where, when, why, and how the incident happened. The content must include 5W plus 1H. The structure must be written in full so the reader can understand the entire text easily and the news value can be conveyed properly. And the third is research or information. Search, which is the section that contains the opinion for expert or eyewitness. In addition, it can also be in the form of comment from various the party involved. For example, he just arrived home and made 10 after attending to the exhibition. In the city, he collapsed and lost consequence and returned home in which Claire, Reina said. That is the generic structure of news item. Okay, does anyone know how to make an interesting news? To make a news interesting for reader or listener, language features are needed. So, what are the language features? Language features are various styles of writing or language that are used. In addition to attracting the interest of reader or listener, the function of language is also the reader or listener can pay attention to the content of the news that is conveyed properly and thoroughly. Then, what are the language features in the news? First, using simple past tense. Simple past tense is a form of sentence to express an event in the past. You see, news is written when the incident has occurred, right? Sometimes, news item text can also be written in simple present tense to tell a fact that is still ongoing today. For example, swollen river spilled over road. Spilled here use a verb to and then there is a simple present tense. And the example number 2 is video on social media showed. The second language feature of news item is using same verb. Same verb are identical verbs that occur in conversational activity. The example of same verb are respond, say, answer, tell, ask, replay, and etc. In news item text, generally the tense same verb are also known as reporting verb in the use of reported speech. For example, weather expert says conditions are ripe for further heavy rainstorm in the south of the country and heatwave in the north. The next language feature is using action verb. Action verb or dynamic verb are verbs that refer to an action that is visible for others. As explained in the article 11 types of English verb, an example, action verb are also known as dynamic verb. For example, on Tuesday, Dini was taken to the Bandung for treatment. Mutia said no disease were detected but he died on Friday. Okay, in the sentence above, there is taken which means to be brought and treatment which means treatment. language feature is using adverb time, place, and manner. Adverb of time are adverb of time. Place is an adverb of place, and adverb of manner are adverb to express how an activity can be done or how an event that occur. I have the example here you can see on your screen. Here are the example of using adverb time, and then the example of using adverb place, and the last is using adverb manner. Okay, I think that's all my explanation about news item. Do you understand what I have explained? Now I will give you the example of news item. Please pay attention to the video and watch and listen that video carefully.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the weather forecast today. I'm Eva as the presenter. Now let's see how the weather in Indonesia is like. We are starting from the northern areas in Indonesia, Kalimantan, North Sulawesi, and the northern areas in Maluku. The wind blows hard and cold, so the possibility of rain will come. Don't go anywhere without your umbrella. The temperature reaches 23 degrees centigrade. Well, next to the eastern areas in Indonesia, that is Papua, the northern areas in Maluku, East Nusa Tenggara, West Nusa Tenggara, and the eastern areas in Bali. It rains all day long, so please prepare your thick clothes and raincoats. The thunderstorm will come or will occur at that day, because the temperature will be higher than 22 degrees centigrade. Well, we're next to the western areas in Indonesia, that is Sumatra, the central South Kalimantan, and also the northern areas in Java. It's little bit hot, but cloudy, and there is not any possibility of rain, but it's a bit windy, because the temperature reaches 24 degrees centigrade. Well, next to the last areas, that is the south areas in Indonesia, that is South Sumatra, Jakarta, and the southern areas in Java. It's a little bit cloudy, and there is not any possibility of rain. Then it's gonna be sunny in the afternoon, because the temperature reaches 25 degrees centigrade only. Okay, that is the weather forecast today. I'm Eva, thank you.
Okay, after watching the video, to see your ability to understand the video, please take the following quiz using this link and do it after this study is finished. Okay guys, I think all of you can understand the material about news item. In order to better understand the news material, I will give you an assignment. Please look for news from various media such as newspaper, internet, television, or etc. Then identify the news including topics, content, and language feature then collected on Padlet. Any question? Do you understand about the assignment? Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you for joining my class today. I hope my explanation can be understood well by all of you guys. See you next week and have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.